Hey guys, it's Chef from Culinaria, Chef Pete. Can't speak tonight. I guess I need a glass of wine. So tonight's wine featuring a Fess Parker Chardonnay, and because I'm going to be cooking with it too. I do like a Chardonnay. This is 2018 Santa Barbara County, and typically we sell it for $15. So if you need a bottle of Chardonnay, I'll be here till probably 7 or so. You can always stop in and grab a bottle. So I was wrestling with what to actually make. Oh, hey, Yumi is here tonight, and my first love is always Italian, followed very, very closely by everything else. I haven't had risotto for a while, so I figured I would make some risotto, and then kind of play on that with a little bit of Cajun shrimp and a Cajun sauce. I love Cajun food. I love spicy food. So that's what we're going to be doing. And Yumi, hey Yumi, trying to read. Can't always do that real well, but anyway. I like this Chardonnay. Really nice. Nice crisp, not buttery and oaky. I do like the oaky Chardonnay when it's, a little bit less, but and Donna's here. Hey man, what's going on, guys? Another little. So as I've been saying, and Sarah, my favorite niece, my absolute favorite niece, is here. Hey Tom, Tom's there with Yumi. It's really nice to kind of have some interaction with these things, people commenting and trying to keep up with it. But so anyway, ingredients are pretty simple tonight. Everyone said, do you have a recipe? And I'm like, no, I kind of made this up out of my head, and I'll see if I can throw something together for everybody to have a look-see. So ingredients tonight. I'm going to be doing a small portion. This is easily doubled. I'm doing a half a cup of risotto, Italian rice, and I've got an onion here that's been chopped. Hopefully you guys can see. Maybe there we go. So onions right here. I've got a couple of tomatoes, and I know when I was doing the post last week on the tomato soup, or the week before, or whenever it was, I had mentioned this technique that Stefan uses a lot, my business partner, and so if you have just a few tomatoes to do that you want to peel without having to go through getting the pot of water out, cutting the slit, putting them in and pulling them out, you can use just a little Y peeler, and just take that right across and take your Y peeler, and then just start with a little, of course, sawing motion. There it goes, like so. And you can peel your tomatoes quite easily. And then once that first part goes, it's quite easy. So again, I just do a little sawing motion down. And if you don't want to go through the trouble of peeling your tomatoes, by all means, you could do this with any tomato one, and you could also do a little bit of maybe diced tomatoes, like a 10-ounce can. I'll probably have more sauce than I need, but because I'm just, went down to the store earlier, and I had this thought about doing this, and hopefully everybody will like it. I think it's going to be good, and it's kind of a play on grits with shrimp and grits, but kind of my play on it. Let me get my trash bowl here. That way I don't have to keep walking by. Kim, hey, what's happening, Kim? Glad everyone's here. So I'm just going to take my tomato and I'm just going to quarter it like so. If you want to, cut out all the seeds, you can, but it's not a requirement. The little, I call it the gushy stuff on the inside, it's got a lot of flavor. And if you got a few seeds, so what? But if you want to take them out, by all means you can. And then I just take the tomato and I just trim off where the stem is. And on this one it doesn't have it. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these in half one more time. Give them a little rough chop, like so. Can you guys see okay? This is cooking in quarantine. So we called the health department on Friday, or no, today's Friday, Thursday or Wednesday, and they are saying that we can open up under phase 2. So hopefully phase 2 won't be too long. Hopefully it'll be safe for everyone to go back. Guys, please just be careful out there. Take care of yourselves. And I've got my towel right here. And so for the risotto, I'm going to be doing the risotto, a little chopped onion, about half of this, the other half I'll use in the sauce. Some lemon zest and some lemon juice, of course a little bit of white wine. Let's see, Nazi's here. Thanks everyone for joining. It's really a pleasure to have all of you guys here, and this is one of the things that I look forward to. So back to the risotto. So we've got half cup of risotto, maybe a quarter to a third cup of finely chopped onion. We've got some, this is for our risotto, some lemon and lemon juice, white wine, and some chicken stock here. And if you don't have homemade chicken stock, the brand that I use is Kitchen Basics. I think it's pretty good for a store-bought stock. So, I think we'll start on the risotto first. That takes a little while to get going here. And I do risotto in a skillet. Makes life a little easier. Let me get some butter. I'm trying to see who's, yeah, we miss everybody being here. Oh, that's my guitar playing assistant who's really improving. Isabel. So, got some butter. Pan's heating up a little bit. So I'm going to take a nice little knob of butter, about that big, It's not something that you have to measure out. And I'll start with the onions. And I also have a little bit of olive oil, maybe a teaspoon, and probably turn on some more lights. Is that a little better? There we go. So while we're waiting for this pan to heat up, we'll just take a sip of wine. So we had a request earlier for a Hungarian mushroom soup. I'm going to have to look into that. So we might be doing Hungarian mushroom soup next week. And let's see, other things that we're going to be using tonight, of course, the tomatoes, some parsley, some green onions, a little andouille, and some shrimp I have in the refrigerator that I've peeled and coated them pretty heavily with a little bit of my own personal Cajun blackened rub. If you have one that you use, Paul Prudhomme's is quite good. A lot of people like Tony's. There's several different brands that are out there, but this is the one that I make. If you want the recipe for this seasoning blend, just shoot me an email. I do have that already done, so I can shoot that to you. It's a nice thing to have on stock. I really like making my own seasoning blends. So that's heating up. You can smell the butter. Let me turn on my exhaust fan. Have a sip of wine. I think that's John Kerr that popped on. Yep. Hey John, what's going on? Isabel, yeah, we missed you too. So I'm going to start with about half of the onions. The onion I cut up today was about that big. You know, just a small onion, because I'm only making this for me and maybe a little bit leftovers. On the tomato soup, I think I have like about a half a cup left, and that'll be gone this weekend. Just absolutely love that. So let me get a stirring instrument out. So let me go ahead and cut up some garlic. Maybe a few more onions in there. So this is a 10-inch skillet, so you can see basically there's not a ton of onion in there. You know, about a third of a cup, maybe half a cup. Again, don't worry about measuring everything out. I will add a little bit of salt to our onions. Nice little, you know, nice little pinch. 2 fingers and a thumb. And maybe 2 of those. All right. So let me get my garlic going here. I'm just gonna crush this without completely smashing it. Pinch the top and then pull these off. That was another little piece of an onion. Trash bowl. Trash bowl. Nice to have those in stock. Trim off that little root end. And then I'm just going to slice these up. And then I've got a bunch of nice little sliced pieces. So I'll just start running my knife through to finally chop these up. Am I missing any questions? No? Okay. So the risotto is going to be a lemon risotto with white wine, chicken stock, and hopefully heavy on the lemon flavor. And then we're just going to do this little kind of shrimp thing where we've got a little andouille, some onion, maybe some pickled jalapenos, because I forgot to pick up a bell pepper. So, you know, when you're cooking at home, it's what do you have, and you know, what can you make out of it? That's the big thing. Don't be afraid. All right, so there's our garlic. That's probably a tablespoon and a half. So our onions are cooking up, softening up. I'm going to go ahead and add my risotto. And I'm just going to stir this to coat the, and try not to spill any. And we're going to cook this until it becomes like opaque. If I see if I can pull up a couple without, I don't know if you'll be able to see that or not, but it's they're kind of opaque, but they're still kind of transparent. So we want to toast these up, and I've got this on a little bit, a little over a medium heat, and I'm just going to stir this up and toast these. Let's see here. So this, goes fairly quickly. Just as a general rule for risotto, if you're starting with a half a cup of dried rice, its liquid to dried rice ratio is typically about 4 to 1, depending on which risotto you're using. There's lots and lots of different types. This is an Arborio. Lost a few more. So one of the reasons that I like doing it in here is you can just toss it. And the big thing with risotto is you want this outer little, I don't know if you can see that clearly enough, you want the outer husk to crack. That way, once that cracks, it'll start to be able to absorb the liquid and release its starch, which ends up making it that creamy, lovely risotto. So this takes a couple of minutes. We'll add some wine. Into our glass. But we're not ready for the wine and the risotto yet. There we go. All right, so I don't know how well you can see, but the risotto is, nicely toasted. So I'm going to pour in some wine, probably about half a cup. It smells good. All right, so most of that has already started to get absorbed. So I got four cups of chicken stock here. I'm going to go ahead and add half a cup. And let this come up to a simmer. I'm going to add a little bit of garlic into that. I could have put that in with the onions before I added the risotto, but it'll still be good. Smells good. So once we get to our risotto, I had about half a lemon I went ahead and squeezed earlier, and this is the zest from that. So I'm going to go ahead and zest this lemon here. The lemon zest is really nice because it gives you that bright lemon flavor without the huge amount of acidity. So this is a nice way to add lemon flavor if you don't want it to be too acidic. Now you can see why I do this in a pan. I don't have to constantly stir it. When I was in Italy, this is how we did it. And it's worked out for me really well ever since. So as I get down to about that level, kind of hard to see. Let's see if I can tilt that down a little bit more. There's still some liquid in here, but I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit more because you don't want this to dry out. So I know that if I'm doing half a cup, I'm probably going to end up doing somewhere around the neighborhood of 2.5 to 3 cups of chicken stock. You could also use vegetable stock. I've done this all with wine. What is the inspiration behind putting the lemon in the risotto? Well, I wanted the risotto to be bright because I'm going to do a kind of a little heavier sauce with the shrimp, and I think between the spiciness of the shrimp and the sauce with the risotto, I think is going to add a nice balance. I'll let you know because I'll taste it while you guys are here and be honest. So this is something that, you know, I've cooked risotto many times. I've done Cajun stuff, but this is kind of just, you know, some of the things that I went down to the store, picked up, and thought, hey, you know, let's give it a try, you know. Somebody had posted something about shrimp and grits on Instagram, and I was like, oh, you know, that sounds really good, but it's like, well, I love grits, don't get me wrong, but then I thought, you know, risotto, I haven't had that for a while, so, you know, why not, right? Or as I say, wine not. So risotto should probably take about 15-20 minutes to get completely cooked. I'm going to go ahead and add a nice squeeze of lemon. Now I can get the lemon squeezer out, or I can just hold this like so and give it a little squeeze, and the seeds will stay on top, so I don't have to get out yet another tool. If you have some seeds floating around on top, just take your trash bowl and fill them up. So I've got a nice amount of lemon zest, so thinking that's going to be a nice little addition. So while this is cooking, I'll switch. There we go. Down on the medium. I'm going to heat up my saute pan here. I'm going to grab my shrimp. And these have been kind of like in a dry rub for a good couple hours. So you can see I've crusted them pretty heavily. Does the risotto cook quicker with hot stock, or does it matter? Probably. And I'm sure there's, you know, the food police that are like, I can't believe you're not putting it, you know, but it'll be fine. That burner up just a little bit. So I'm going to try to quickly sear the shrimp without adding completely cooking them. Let's see, let me get a little plate to hold those. Here we go. So I'm going to heat up my, well, it's heating up already. Butter's right here. And you know, if you're doing Cajun cooking, there's butter and cream involved. So I'll come back and we'll add some butter more. Don said he liked the not having to heat up the stock. I do have it at room temp though. Since this is only for me, I'm doing 21.25 shrimp. That means 21 to 25 per pound. If you can find Gulf shrimp, true Gulf shrimp, not farm raised, the flavor is not even comparable. So if you can afford that, absolutely. If you can't, then you know, you go with what you can afford, right? All right, so I'm going to cook this until it's starting to foam a little bit, like so. But I want it to foam a little bit more and get a little bit browner. That brown butter is just a great way to add flavor. Just trying to make sure I'm not missing any questions. All right, so I want to get this pan pretty hot. Make sure I'm on the right one. Yeah, risotto's going fine. When your risotto's finished, you shouldn't be able to pile it. When you put it onto the plate, it should basically just kind of resolve to the plate. It should be a little runny. It shouldn't be thick. And I did forget to get the cheese earlier. But, so let's see. So far we have, I think I had 3 cups in there. So I'm going to add another little drink in the risotto. Give that a nice little stir. So now my butter is starting to brown. You can see the milk solids are starting to brown, right? Lovely flavor. So I'm going to go ahead and add my shrimp in. The pan's pretty hot. If you're into, you know, making a plate look nice, always try to think in odd numbers. It's a little more appealing to the eye. And let's see. So I'm going to give these a little flip here. And these are definitely not cooked, but we've kind of seared that spice in. And it smells wonderful. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this off for a moment. Get my shrimp out, because I don't want to overcook my shrimp. And then we'll add those back to the shrimp after our sauce is done. Get that off the heat. I don't want my seasonings to burn. So back to our risotto pan and a sip of wine. Smells good. You can smell the wine and the lemon juice in there already. When we add the lemon zest, it will really make it pop. Cleaning up after myself. turn that back burner off for now. We'll come back to our shrimp. And of course I'm going to have too much sauce, but you can always cook a few more shrimp, take leftover sauce, put that on some pasta or some rice, and it'll be good. And the more you look about risotto, I mean, there's a ton. You can do tomato risotto, you can do bolognese risotto, it's sausage or shrimp you can just kind of toss in at the end, mushrooms, lots of things you can do with risotto. I'm going to add a little bit more stock. Good. I can't wait to do the sauce for this. This was just one sausage of a dried andouille. If you can't find that, you know, like the true Cajun andouille, use whatever sausage. You could do a chorizo or an Italian sausage. I kind of prefer the stuff that's like smoked. So it's got a little bit more flavor and more of the dry type of sausage rather than the fresh. But if all I had was Italian or breakfast sausage and I wanted to make this, that's what I'd use. Risotto might be getting close. Now my business partner is recovering from some surgery on his foot, and if he was here and we were making this together, he would say, go ahead and taste the risotto, because he doesn't like his teeth to stick together if it's not done. But after this point I need to start checking and seeing how close we are. Probably another 5 minutes. And excuse me for walking off the camera, I need to get a little bit of Parmesan. Oh, I have it right here. Let's see. Yes. A little Parmigiano. Whenever you can, use the real Parmigiano. There's just a flavor that is not comparable to the stuff in the green can. But if all you have is the stuff in the green can, you know, it is what it is and you use it. So this is what we're looking like at so far. Hopefully you guys can see it. It's still loose. So that's going to be good. Some either fresh thyme would be really nice with the lemon risotto. But I'm going to wait and add that in just before. Now here's our spoon. So a half a cup of dried risotto Oreo Superfino will basically make about 1.5 cups to 2 cups. Kim, Stefan always made me taste the risotto. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he does it to me too. So he just doesn't like it. But I miss him. I wish he was here cooking with me. Let's give it another little Pretty close. Really close. All right. I'm gonna turn my back burner on again over a low. Drop that down a little bit, or low to medium. Get right in between. And back to my pan that we did our shrimp in, because that's got a lot of flavor. This is up on a basically a medium high. Let me grab some more chicken stock. And see, there's my brand right there. I usually make chicken stock here at the school, but since we have been on the closed quarantine thing, you know, it's in the freezer, and what can I say, I was lazy. But you can also get this one in an unsalted version, which I normally pick up, but this says 45% less sodium. Just a little bit more chicken stock, not a lot. Just a little stir. All right, pan's heating up there. Gonna add our onion. Again, that's about half of a small onion. About, you know, about that big. An onion about that big will give you about 3/4 of a cup. We're going to take a little bit of our butter here. And the next thing I'm going to add in is our sausage, because we want to get that, you know, nicely brown too. We've got some tomatoes. I'm going to add a little cream to our sauce, a little bit of butter. Oh, and then this is our Cajun blackened seasoning rub, my own version. We want to start layering this seasoning to that. Add a little bit to our risotto. Give it a little stir. And whenever you finish your risotto, you always want to finish with a little knob of butter. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and add my garlic to this. And whatever little scraps I got left on the board here. There we go. We'll add a little bit of wine. Did I miss a... Yeah, I wish we all could smell it. That would really be great. Got some spring onions. I'm gonna turn the top off. Add about a tablespoon of our green onions. Let those cook in, give them their flavors. Tomatoes. A little bit more of our seasoning. Nice little pinch. And you know, the whole idea about these cooking classes that I've done is not necessarily to give you recipes per se, more of a technique of you know, don't be afraid to try. If you had Southwestern seasoning, you could do that. Probably could have done with just one tomato, but figure if I got a little extra, I'm going to throw it on some pasta. Just keeping an eye on my risotto. It's pretty close. I'm going to add a little bit of chicken stock to this. Half a cup. If I had some time, I might throw that in there. I have some in the back dried, but this is kind of, I want you to see that, you know, cooking with what you got kind of thing. So our sauce is at a pretty good rolling boil. Hopefully you can see that. Well, of course now it's off the heat, but we want to reduce this down a little bit. So we got some white wine, some chicken stock, all the good stuff. We need a little bit of cream. Just heavy cream. And you can smell the Cajun seasonings in there. You could definitely make this more kind of a Italian-y. You could do your shrimp in a you know, a nice little Italian seasoning. Alright, so we definitely need a little more chicken stock. Our rice is basically done at this point. I'm probably going to end up using the rest of this chicken stock. We're very, very close. And this is where it's really nice to have, you know, two people cooking. One doing the shrimp, one doing the risotto. Let's see if I can unplug this and take this up. Oop. Sorry. There's what our pan is looking like. Got that up at a good boil. Good question, Kim. I always use unsalted butter when cooking. That way I can control the amount of salt. Mary's here from out west, Colorado. What's going on, Mary? All right. So I'm going to add a little bit of cream, probably about a quarter cup-ish. Just take a little taste. Oh yeah, got a nice little heat. So I'm going to take a little parsley. Parsley is very much used in Cajun food. So I just take everything and just kind of roll it up into a little ball. And if there's a few stems in there, it's all right. So my sauce is still at a good boil. So I want this nicely finely chopped. I don't want big, huge leaves of parsley in my sauce here. So that's probably a tablespoon and a half of fresh parsley. Parsley adds a huge amount of flavor. Alright, so I'm going to switch our pans off or around so I can finish the risotto. Yes, I'm only using 1 spoon. Hey, I'm lazy. And I'm going to add just a little chicken stock, because I want this to be nice and loose. I'm going to add our zested lemon. If you're using one of these zesters, if you zest with it facing up this way, it catches all the zest. Now you can really smell the lemon. It's going to be really nice and bright. Let's see, just turn our risotto down to a low and add just a little bit more chicken stock. And we're going to add some Parmigiano Reggiano. One that says Parmigiano. Oop. Sorry about that. One that says Parmigiano. So this gives us a nice little creamy, kind of cheesy consistency that is just lovely. Let's see where we're at here. And you want to make sure you taste. Does it have enough cheese? Does it have enough salt? Since we were using the regular salt, really tastes the lemon. Salt's just right. Maybe a little more Parmigiano. Then we'll put a little bit more on when we finish it too. Alright, so our risotto's basically done. Sauce is done. I'm going to add my shrimp to our sauce. Need to switch that over a little bit. There we go. Give us a little stir. And just finished cooking those up. So you can see my risotto it's creamy. It's not dry. It's, you know, you can see the creaminess to it. Right before we serve that, I'm going to add a nice little knob of butter. Have a sip of wine. This Fess Parker, I don't know if you guys are familiar. Fess Parker makes some great wine. And yes, it's the guy that played Davy Crockett and Daniel Boone. Really cool though. Alright. I got a few more sprigs of parsley. Sauce is done. Turn that off. Risotto's ready. Risotto's off the heat. I'm going to add a nice little knob of butter, you know, a couple of tablespoons. Finish that off, stir it in. the residual heat will melt this. You can really smell the lemon. Always add just a little bit of chicken stock at the very, very end too, in case it's too dry. Like I said, it should be somewhat runny. All right. I've been thinking about this all day, so hopefully it will be really, really good. All right, hope you guys are doing well. Hope Larry's doing well. Hope all is well with all you guys. I'm kind of hungry. So I'm going to take a couple of our green onions here for a little garnish. A little bit of our parsley for garnish. I like my parsley to be finely chopped, no big leaves. All right, so there's our parsley. We'll grab a plate. Let's taste our risotto, because I can't wait. Just the lemon risotto, really nice. I think I might have a little left over. If any of you guys know me, you will definitely know this is one of my favorite tools in the kitchen. So give our sauce a little stir. Shrimpies are done. We'll lay those out. Got some leftover sauce, all right. So we'll put our sauce right on top. It's kind of a thick, chunky sauce. The tomato, parsley, Cajun seasoning. Oh yeah. I don't know if you can tell or not, but my mouth is watering. I'm not even waiting for the plate. Wow. That risotto. The lemon, so good. Is that Carlisle? Hey Carlisle, what's happening? So, I guess you can see my plate. I'll bring it up. So I'm gonna save just a little bit of Parmesan on top. I know in Italy that, you know, whole thing with cheese and seafood is like a huge no-no, but we're here in Virginia, and they would do this like in Louisiana. So a little bit of green onion on top, just for that nice little color. A little bit of parsley. Parsley really adds a lot of flavor. And a little bit of our Cajun seasoning around the plate. Somehow I need to take a picture of that too. So here's our, where am I at here? There we go. Our lemon risotto with a Cajun style shrimp andouille sauce, and should be really good. Let me take a bite and see. Well, I got my spoon still. The sauce really interacts well with the lemon risotto. That's really nice. Let me try a shrimp here. Well, I should probably have half a shrimp, but speechless. Really good. I really hope you guys make this at home. And if you can't remember, I will try to work on a recipe to send you guys. There's just magic going on in my mouth right now. I don't talk a lot about my food, and usually when I'm doing a class, I don't eat until it's done. But I will definitely make this again. All right, let me recap what we did. Try to go with the amounts. Turn off the pan here. All right, the risotto started out with a yes, it would make you cry. It's that good for me anyway. So we had a half a cup of risotto, uncooked, about a half of a small onion, maybe about a quarter cup or so of, let's see, don't eat shrimp, but you're enjoying it so much. If you don't eat shrimp, you can just leave it out, or you could substitute a fish if you like fish, or just leave it out altogether. The sauce is like just really goes well with the lemon. All right, so let me recap. Half cup risotto, about a half a cup of finely chopped onion, about a cup, or not a cup, about a tablespoon of chopped garlic, about 3 cups plus or minus of chicken stock, whether it's homemade or store-bought, and about a half cup of white wine, and Parmigiano, juice of a half a lemon, and the zest of a lemon or a lemon and a half. And it just has this wonderful lemony flavor. And then, you know, as much Parmesan as you like. For our sauce, about half an onion, good, finely chopped, good tablespoon of chopped parsley or garlic. Sweat that out. Either add in your sausage or your tomatoes, or both. Cook that down a little bit. Add about a half cup of white wine and about half a cup of chicken stock. Let that cook down, and then probably a half cup of cream, and just let it cook. And at the very end, I added in some chopped parsley and some chopped these guys, scallions, green onions, and added my shrimp right at the very end just to finish cooking them and reheat them. And hopefully you guys will make this. It is really, really delicious. The only reason that I'm not eating more right now is I have to take a picture for the Facebook. So hopefully you guys will make this nothing, you know, extravagant. That half a cup of risotto and 5 shrimp the risotto will feed 2 people easily. So if you're gonna do this for 2 people, then you probably need to do like 10 shrimp or 12 shrimp, or, you know, if you really like shrimps, then more. You could also add crawfish tails to this. This would be also really, really good. So I guess this is a farewell until next week. Thank you guys so much for viewing and watching. It is really one of the things that I enjoy doing since we are under this pandemic thing. Take good care. Check out Fess Parker's wine. Definitely, if you're a Chardonnay fan, I like this a lot, but I'm a wino. Have a good weekend, guys, and thank you again. Let all your friends know Chef Pete on Facebook, and I will save this and put it on Instagram also. So take care, and Culinaria Cooking School on Facebook. Please follow. I'm trying to get a what do you call it, a YouTube channel set up. If anybody knows lots about YouTube, give me a ring. I would love to bend your ears. So have a good weekend. Take good care of yourselves. Be careful out there. From my heart to yours, enjoy the food because it's that good. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.